Hey YouTube, it's Shrinking Silly here, and it is I think it's the third, but it is definitely Wednesday. I do know that, and it's the Wednesday before Easter. So I just thought I would give everyone a little update. I was at my primary care physician yesterday, so I had a weigh in, and then this coming Monday I have my 1 month follow up at my surgeon's office where I'll be weighed again. And then after that, I do plan on weighing probably every 1 to 2 weeks. I don't want to really be a slave to the scale. Working out quite a bit, so I think my progress is probably a little slower. You hear these amazing stories about how people came out of the hospital and lost like 20 pounds in the first 2 weeks and that sort of thing. And I think that I started walking pretty quickly out of uh, the hospital and managed in the last 3 weeks to get up to 3 to 4 miles a day. And I think that probably has a little bit to do with it. I probably am gaining some muscle. So, anyhow, my first weigh-in at my doctor's office 2 weeks out happened to be well, there's some controversy. It was either a 10 or 15 pound loss because it's a long story. I think I got into that last time. But anyhow, I'm down another 5 pounds from then, and it's been a week. So it's actually been. It was exactly a week. Yeah, actually, it was just a day short of a week. So I'm down 5 pounds in 6 days, and I'm feeling really good. I'm actually off my pain medication completely. I still have a little bit of residual pain here and there on my left side, and the majority of that, that's where most of the work was done, obviously. But it's not pain as much as just maybe a little spasm here or there, a little, nothing major at all. I'm actually extremely impressed with the fact that I had a lot less pain than I thought I was going to. I really thought I was going to be sick. In fact, I went out and bought baby food thinking that I was going to be so sick that I probably wasn't going to be able to make myself anything, and that would be quick and easy when I got to pureed. But I tried one can of that and said to myself, I'm not sick enough to even eat this on a regular basis. So that's all going to be donated to somebody who's had a baby. I just need to find that person. Also, pleasantly surprised that my incisions, I don't think it'll come out on the camera, so I'm not even going to try, but they're so faint, it's ridiculous. Like, you can barely even tell on one side, on my right side, that I even have any incisions at all. On my left side, they're a little more pronounced, but that's to be expected. Again, I'm feeling really good. I'm walking about 3 to 4 miles a day. I was really trying to get up to 5 before I saw my doctor again. But I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that or not. I mean, it was kind of this lofty goal that I had to get to 5 miles and be able to say it before I see my surgeon. But originally I was supposed to see my surgeon next Thursday, which would give me another week, and that's been moved up to this coming Monday, and I'm just not sure I'll be able to get in the 5 miles consistently between now and then. It's coming down to the end of my time off here at home, and I really have to get to do some schoolwork because since I've been off from everything. I really just concentrated on this and this only. So I really have to get back to real life. And speaking of real life, I had stayed away from driving while I was on medication, and then even waited almost a week after I was completely off, before I really started venturing out. And so yesterday I had my fullest day ever since I've been out of the hospital, and I had 2 doctor's appointments, and I had to go get my car inspected. And the inspection station, it was an oil change and an inspection, and it took 2 hours. Don't ask me why. I filled my time by walking. I actually walked 2 miles. I walked down to the local Salvation Army, bought myself a shirt and 2 books, and came back. And it was a 2-mile walk. I actually got a little sunburned. You probably can't tell right now. I actually look a little sweaty and whatnot because it rained here tonight. Normally what I do is I walk 1 to 1.5 mile stints, and I do it 3 to 4 times a day. But I decided this morning that I was gonna run some errands, and I needed to thank some people that have been, helping me along the way. So I wanted to go make a kind of special surprise visit to some friends, and because of that, I had skipped my morning walk, and then I kind of got tied up with them for a while. So when I got home, it was late, and I still hadn't walked. So I decided I would go down to this little gym that we have at the apartment here, and normally I kind of walk at my own pace and, pace myself because I know that I'm still healing. But because it was raining, I went into this little gym and I kind of pushed myself a little. So I realized that going from my normal little 1 to 1.5 walks and then going back to the gym, which I hope to do, starting next week at some point, is going to be like starting all over again. It's going to be difficult. But back to my story yesterday, I was out all day. I had 2 doctor's appointments and the inspection, and then I had to go to the pharmacy, and I just had all this running around to do, and I was exhausted, like ready to come home and just pass out. So I know that going back to work for an 8-hour shift is going to be difficult just because of your exhaustion level. So my advice to anyone who can afford to be out and has, a short-term disability policy of some sort, take it. Because not only are you changing your life, and that takes, a lot of consistent work. I mean, this isn't easy. You have to work at it, and it's a lot of mental challenging and that sort of thing. So if you have the time, take it because you can kind of work yourself into a habit. I'm taking as much as I can, to be perfectly honest, just because I want to be in a good position when I go back to work. I don't want to go back and be stressed out and freaking out because I'm just not at a point where I can, handle it. So I might even go back part-time for the first week or two just to kind of get used to it. But either way, I will be going back probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So we're down to the crunch at this point. Like I said, I do have to go back to my homework and that sort of thing. And it's really important. And but otherwise, again, I'm doing pretty well. I was going to say that there's been some challenging circumstances over the past few days, and I've been pretty excited about how I handled them. I got not bad news at the doctor, but just I'm on some medication for a thyroid issue. And when I first went on the medication, I was, under the assumption that eventually, with the hormones that changed during surgery and everything else, and eventually I would probably come off this medication. That it was kind of a temporary thing, but when I talked to the doctor yesterday, it doesn't sound like that's the case. It does happen. It just doesn't always happen. So it's really a case-by-case basis. And, I don't mind having to take a pill every night. I was just kind of surprised over it, and I have to do a little more research because I don't know how that, the side effects of it may be affecting my exercise regimen or my weight loss and all that sort of thing. So I just want to check into it because I know the thyroid has a lot to do with that. I had to get on it. When I first got on it, I had no choice, and they told me, I feel better and everything else, and I did. So I just did what I was supposed to do, but I was kind of in the assumption it wasn't forever. So that was a little, rift in the day, not a big deal. But then the end of the day, when I went to go get my inspection of my car, that was a challenge. Not only was I there for 2 hours, and the garage was kind of a pain, and I work in the car business, so I know how people can be in that business and how they treat people, single woman coming in, that sort of thing. They thought they had somebody who didn't know what she was talking about, so that wasn't really the case. But when I came back, they gave me a bill for over $1,000 for work that needs to be done to my truck. So that was one of those situations where in the past, what I probably would have done is left the garage and gone and eaten myself silly because how am I going to handle $1,000 bill? I'm on disability right now, technically. I'm not really making too much money. In fact, I haven't even gotten the first check. And I don't make very good money when I am working, to be honest with you. So I was really kind of freaking out about it. But in the back of my head, I just said to myself that everything is going to work out, and you're not going to go and get yourself sick over something. Because in the past, even if I had gone and eaten and eaten and eaten and eaten, I still would have been sick. I would have been, sick feeling. Been home lethargic, probably slept all evening watching some stupid movie or something. And I pulled out of the parking lot and went to Walgreens and came home and drank a protein shake and said to myself, I'm not even going to think about it tonight because I can't do anything about it tonight. And, I'll pull my resources together and do what I have to do to make it happen. So I was kind of proud of that. And sorry. I may have to cut this short. Then today, I really wanted to thank a friend of mine who's been extremely supportive over the last 3 weeks. His help has been immense. So I decided that he's one of these people who loves a home cooked meal, and he happens to love something that I really make pretty well. And I was supposed to make it before I went into surgery and kind of forgot about it. And I thought to myself, it's going to be very difficult to try to make it and not actually eat it, but I'm going to try it. And the reason I decided to do that is because yesterday had been a stressful day. For me, cooking has always been one of those things that kind of relieves my stress. So I thought, if I can sit here and cook this and put out, all those things that are kind of bothering me in the back of my head, and there's some other things, some emotional things here and there that do come up during this that have been bothering me for, a couple of days or whatever. I'm just kind of milling around in my head. And sometimes you get stuck of being in the house, really. But, so I decided if I could make this meal and not actually even put a finger to it while I was making it, then it would be kind of like a really good aha moment for me. And so that's exactly what I did. And then I delivered it to where he worked. So it was just one of those really inspiring moments for me because normally I would be, let me have a piece of this and make sure that it's good, and probably had a piece when I got there with him and that sort of thing. So, and it came out fine. Everyone loved it. So I love to cook, and I am going to take this opportunity, this surgery, to learn some new things and new ways of cooking. I don't cook bad per se, but I always kind of cook the same thing. If I'm in a comfort mode stage, I cook the same kind of recipes, and if I'm in a low carb stage, then I cook all the same kind of stuff. And I kind of want to add some variety to that, and maybe tweak my comfort foods, and just learn some new techniques and that sort of thing. So I've been doing a lot of watching the Food Network, and bought a couple books yesterday at the thrift store that actually are about healthy cooking. So it'll be interesting. Although right now I can't really eat solid foods, so it's all just a lot of research. I'm hoping that stops this week. I decided that I'm probably going to try to eat something of a meal on Easter. Something small, just to kind of partake in the family thing. I'm going to be with some friends. And, but, other than that, next week I believe I should be on soft food, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. And then next week I think I'll also be graduating to the gym, which will be really good. I don't think I have any other really exciting news. I did want to tell those of you who may be struggling with some protein that I tried something this week because, trying to keep your calories down to a certain point can be a struggle at times. So I've actually been putting vanilla protein in my Crystal Light, and it's really good. I use the grape and the cherry Crystal Light, and I put vanilla protein in it, and it's delicious. So you may want to try it. It's almost kind of like similar to like a kind of a creamsicle, or those popsicles with the cream inside them type things. It's similar to that. I liked it. And that's it. I'm going to be signing off. Y'all have a really good Easter weekend if I don't touch base with you before then. And happy holidays. Thank you.